So this is going to be kind of an odd one, and you guys can roll with it or you cannot roll with it, and that's fine. But I'm going to give my absolute honest opinion about this whole situation, and you're going to have to follow me and you're going to have to give me a chance to really get this idea out before you run to the comments, because it's going to get very complicated. And it's not actually that complicated. That's the worst part about it. So, as you see here, this is the girl that was in Last of Us. She's in a game called Intergalactic. And it's really weird. This whole situation is really weird, so I'm going to explain it the best I can. She is in this game, and she is also getting backlash for The Last of Us Part 2. Now, she is one of those types of people that likes to go online and likes to just chat the shit out of people and make people feel one way or the other because she has a bone to pick with the people who watch her. Now, a lot of people, I feel like it's really 50-50. Sometimes I see people supporting her, and then other times I see people against her. But overall, I think this whole situation is really weird because if you know anything about her career and how it's gone, which we can pretty much pull up, but her career is... I don't know how to explain it. Like, she is the same character in everything she's in. And we're pretending like she's not. They're pretending like she's not, but she is, for the most part, the same character in everything she's in. She plays the same stereotypical, one-dimensional female in about everything she's in. And if you like, and if I'm serious, if you go through her stuff, and I don't count these fucking animated things because they make up what she looks like in those. But even when they do, it's the same shit. But when you go down here and you like really look at her look and stuff like that, I think what you'll find is I might be right. The situation with this is this Neil Druckmann has been, they're calling it boot camping. I haven't even heard the term, but boot camping her instead of just saying what boot camping is, which is just him just talking to her and coaching her. They could have just said coaching. Everyone is using this fucking boot camping term. I don't know why. Coaching on her that she's getting a lot of hate online. And he's saying, hey, don't worry about it. You're so cool. He's like telling them a bunch of bullshit. I think with like a lot of these actors, they have this negative space around them or I should say like a positive space around them where they're told that they're the best, they're so good, oh my God, you're the best thing that's ever lived. They don't really live in the real world, and they don't see how their actions affect other people. And they also just kind of like go off anytime they want on other people. And even when people have like genuine concerns or get genuine criticism. And I think that's crazy because like if you owned a restaurant and a critic came in to judge your food, you might not like what they have to say, or you love what they have to say, but regardless, you don't have that choice to pretend like those people's opinions aren't valid at least. Maybe they don't matter to you, but if validity, I mean, you're a restaurant and you're serving food and you're getting a review. And it's the same with when you put yourself out there and on stage. I myself have faced criticism just doing this channel, but I don't hold it against anybody and I don't hold on to it. I just answer the comment and I move on. But the reality is like, it's a lot of shit. It is a lot of shit. You're putting yourself out there. You're putting yourself in front of other people. And then you're also like, trying to not be I guess the word everyone would use is like problematic about it. Like, I don't sit here and launch some weird crusade against people who just come in here to the video and call me fat or call me like a fucking idiot and just leave. I don't go on any kind of crusade. Now, I will answer the comment and I will like riff with them because, you know, quite frankly, that's good for the algorithm. But at the end of the day, it's like, these guys don't know anything about me. These guys don't even know who I am. Most of these people, like, I know that I do have real fans here, and I know that y'all have been so supportive during the miscarriage stuff that we went through. And, you know, y'all said so many nice things. And you've stayed and you've watched, and when I left, you asked me where I was. And it just made me realize that there is people out there watching me, and I do affect other people, and that's really cool. I think that's a cool aspect of it. But I think also, like, people like this are just gross. They're gross because you see plenty of these actors who are kind of more like positive influences, and they don't really hate anybody, even when they get a disproportionate amount of hate. I know that Chris Pratt received quite a lot of hate. Quite a lot of hate just for being religious. And even though he went on and he explained his situation, and he did all this stuff, quite frankly, nothing came of it. People still hated him. You know, they didn't want to see him anymore, even though he was good in the stuff that they liked. And as an actor, he really held up. The Electric State thing was wild. I don't know why the fuck he did that movie. His career is going down. Okay? And I don't think it's necessarily the audience's fault or the people that are judging him or the people making comments. But at the end of the day, this bitch right here loves to fight with people, loves to be arrogant. It's hard to work with. You see in the stuff that she's in, and you read this stuff that comes out, and the way that these actors, you know, jab at each other, it's very public now. You know, a lot of these people have Twitter and they're doing this in public. We can all go and read about this stuff, and it creates these drama things and that just stirs shit up. But I think what's really weird about this particular situation is that she is the same character in everything that she is in, and somehow it's not her. It's like she's not even acting. She really is this person. And some people are like that. And I don't like this era. I really don't like this era where people show up to do a movie and they say, I look like this. And they do that with various degrees of success. You know, you have Ellen Page went from being Ellen Page to whatever the hell she went to. I don't even remember. It's old news. But when you are on a set and you're doing like a movie or something, and she was in that Umbrella Academy, and her character in the thing also changed. I get the aspect of it where it's like, oh, the character is going to change and be a boy, and that's what they feel like. Okay? I totally get where people are coming from. It was the easy choice. If you look at it from like a director's perspective, it was the easy choice. Just let him look like a boy, and we'll just write it in. But isn't it crazy that we live in an era where you as an actor, and there's all these other actors, right? There's all these other people depending on the show for a job, and you're having to interact on a human level and realize that you're not the center of the universe, and that you're putting on a production, you're putting on a play, you're putting on something to entertain, but then you're taking your real world bullshit and you're forcing it. You're forcing it into a TV show. And I think when you do that and you have the nerve and the gall but But I will say this too, before I finish that, just because people are willing to move out of the way when you're walking does not mean that you shouldn't feel a responsibility to the other person to be courteous, is what I think. I think if you're walking down a hallway or something, you shouldn't expect other people to move out of your way. And that's what it feels like. It feels selfish. It feels self-aggrandizing to say that I'm the only important person here and you're all going to have to conform to what I want you to do. And I think even if I was in a position of power, I think there would be a lot of consideration about the people that either rely on me, look up to me, are fans, are whatever, because I think that they play a crucial part in building me up. Like, if you're getting paid millions of dollars to do something, that's because people want to see you. You're a popular person. You don't just get paid millions of dollars just because you're just that type of guy, you know, like. So I guess this all brings me back to what I'm trying to say is when they did Umbrella Academy and they had Ellen Page, which I cannot fucking remember the other name that she goes by now, which is my fault. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I am saying that we all felt that Umbrella Academy was already going down the shitter, and I'm glad it ended when it ended. And trust me, this is all on topic, but when you get 3 whole episodes that cater to your personal preference, and it has nothing to do with the actual show, and it has nothing to do, and they have to write it in, and they have to force it in, it just feels so disrespectful to other people, because, like, what could they have done with that time that would have equaled something other than you kind of just jerking yourself off and saying that, like, this is a part of me and you all have to cater to it? I think that this actor in particular it's the same feeling I get. And it's the same stuff you hear online. And every single time there's a fucking article, it's some bullshit. Now, yes, there are a ton of articles that praise her and just do a fucking job of making the situation worse, quite honestly. It makes the situation worse when everybody pats them on the back and says, you're so great, you're so better than everyone. And quite frankly, with this game is going to be terrible. The game is going to suck. You know it's going to suck. You don't even have to know it's going to suck to know it's going to suck. You see her in this. You see the articles that are coming out. You're seeing the overall attitude. And what he's telling her, though, with this boot camping stuff, is to ignore it no matter what. Me and you, we're going to make something beautiful. We're going to make something we're proud of. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? They're telling her, you know, that she was saying, I got a lot of love, but there was a lot of hate over being a woman. No one hates you for being a woman. And me being a woman of color, no one hates you for being black, or I hope she's black, but hey, could be one of those things where she looks black. If she's not black, that's on me. I'll take that one. But no one hates her for being a woman of color. And then it's me having my head shaved. It's like, yeah, you're doing the same thing that I just explained. You have your head shaved in fucking everything you're in. because it's a part of your personality. But if you were to look at actors like, I don't know, Jim Carrey and Sonic, imagine Jim Carrey and Sonic said, I don't want to do the beard thing that Robotnik has because that's not part of my personality and I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Who cares? Who cares what you want to do? Because at the end of the day, and I'm just going to say this, and this is the hard part, because there will be some controversy over this. She's bald. Okay, we get it. You're non-conforming. But like, if you're an actor and they say wear the wig, wear the fucking wig. If they say do the thing, but I imagine this person is so hard to work with that it's going to be one of those things where it's like, no, like we can't. We don't want to, we can't do it. You can't ask her to be something she's not. It's like, well, that's kind of what acting is. You pretend to be a character in a play and you put on a performance and you entertain people. And if that requires you to wear clothes you're not comfortable with, or it requires you to look differently than you do in normal life, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, look at the entire cast of Lord of the Rings and tell me that most of those people didn't, grow their hair out or do something to fit the role, and they had no problem with it, and they knew what they were doing, and they were creating an ambiance and a world that's believable. But like some people like this, and it just feels like everything you watch that they're in feels so tacky and so fucking low quality, because they all want to be the person they are in real life instead of acting. Like, you're an actor. You're supposed to act. But like, most of these people are not acting nowadays. They actually are just selfish assholes in real life. And that's what blows my mind is we've got people like this, patting her on the back. Good old Neil patting her on the back, saying that the game is going to be good. Don't worry about it. Well, if you're having to convince somebody that the game is going to be good and that you have, like, don't worry about it, like, I think you're already out on a ledge there. You're already out on a ledge there very early. And I think overall it isn't just her. So I don't want y'all to mess up what I'm saying and say that I'm just focusing on her. This is kind of the point, because it brings up something that continuously bothers me. But you can apply this to anybody who fits that thing. And it's even with that Rachel Zegler. It's like, could she have gone further with the character? I think so. But I think she was unwilling to, because her natural personality is that she is the best. Everyone tells her she's the best. The whole world revolves around her, and she can say whatever she wants about the movie. And that's another thing. People like that, they sit there and they trash the movie that they're in, talking about how shitty it is and all this other stuff, and they get away with it. They get away with it. And when I think about that, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And you know what? It does bother me a little bit that she breaks down that we hate her because she's a woman, she's colored, and she has a shaved head and all these things. And it's not about that, but it is the collection of emotions that you invoke when you act so ignorant and you act so fucking annoying. Because I will say this, I want people to realize that I'm serious, okay? There are people singer. I'm going to try to find this. This is the easiest way to do it. Black woman, bald. This should bring her up. No, that's not her. I can't remember her name, but she did the opening opening song for, I don't know how to fucking spell it. There we go. Her name is Skin. Okay, I'm going to show you an example of someone who's actually like not annoying. Here we have the, I mean, I'm going to have to, we can't listen to the audio because obviously it'll fuck it up, but this is a really good song. And this is a TV show that was really good. And I'm just going to show this as an example because I think it's really important. This woman here is an amazing, talented person. And if she has had crazy viewpoints, you don't hear about it. But I want to highlight the fact that she has a weird name. Okay, she changed her name and she goes by Skin, apparently. And what you have to understand is this lady here is bald. She is black. She has the weird name. She has a weird whole thing about her personality and stuff like that. But I can tell you what, she's fucking talented. She fucking does not get into bullshit. And she practically makes this show's intro unskippable. Absolutely unskippable, because her voice is like a satin glove. I don't even know how to describe it. You'll have to go and you'll have to look this up. Medici Masters of Florence TV opening. But if the problem is that, you know, this lady was black, then I should have a problem with her. If the problem is that she's a woman, I should have a problem with all women. If the problem is that her head is shaved, I would have a problem with this. But this lady does not force whole productions to be okay with the way that she looks instead of fitting the character. Now, I know some of you might say that, well, her character was written to look like that. To which I will say, how unthinkable is it that she looks the same in every single thing? She always has the same outfits, the same look in everything she's in, and it feels like, how is it statistically possible that she just happens to play the same? That's like casting a lumberjack and he just happens to be wearing like the lumberjack outfit with like the thing in like every single movie that he's in, even if he's not playing a lumberjack. And then we go, oh no, that's just that's how he looks. And so he's a taxi driver in New York with the fucking axe. It's like, dude, stop it. And because it's coping, it's at a certain level, it is coping. But I do think that this is important. I think it's important, and I think it's like something to think about, because these people will try to scapegoat other issues. They'll say, well, you hate me because you're racist. You hate me because you know, whatever. And it has nothing to do with that. It's just, you're just kind of a shitty person. And we have to see it. We have to see it en masse, because we get super fed these lines of bullshit from people like you. And I think, why are people having to protect her en masse? Why are people having to protect her if it's not an issue? You know, I've never, it's just this weird victim thing. But look, this video's gone on long enough. Tell me what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know how off base I am. And look, if I said something that's wrong, or I said something that y'all don't agree with, it's okay to tell me about it. And we'll have a discussion, and it'll be good, and it'll be good for everybody. But I can't be the only one that feels this way. That's what I feel like. And, you know, if you enjoyed this and you want more videos, go ahead and subscribe. I answer every single comment, and I'm back to posting a lot.